Everyone. I hope everyone's having a great Thursday. So today's webinar is a presentation of our version 10.5, which the big part of the presentation is going to be about our new feature, which is the document sharing feature. So let's wait just a few minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes for people to join, and then we'll go straight into the presentation. Keep in mind that this webinar is going to be recorded, so you're going to be able to share with your colleagues that did make it afterwards if it is necessary. So we'll wait a few minutes, around 11:01, 11:02, we'll start, just making sure that we have everyone on board, and then we'll go ahead and start the webinar. We'll wait a few more seconds. This is something we are really excited to show you today, something that we've worked on for a while now, and we have now finally released last week. Okay, so let's just go ahead. So we'll start with the documents feature, and then we'll go into other smaller features that we've improved. But the main part, the biggest part about this new version, the 10.5 version, is really this document section. So it's available here in your tools on the left. When you click on the little page logo here, it says documents. So when you click on there, it lets you access your document. So there's a quick video here of a presentation whenever you access this section. By the way, if you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to ask them. I'll answer them at the end of the meeting. So yeah, there's a quick video of presentation of the feature right there whenever you access the document section. In this section right here, there's two different parts. So there's the shared documents, and then there's the document requests. So let's start with the shared documents. Here, first of all, in the filters, you'll be able to filter the documents, the shared documents, by teams, by positions, by locations, or by members. This is something that you can already do in most of the sections of the platform. But let's go straight into what is this section. So the shared documents lets you create different folders. So you see here, I already have a onboarding folder. I'm sorry, some of them are in French, so we'll create some in English for today's webinar. But I can add another folder, let's say, and let's call this one employee documentation. And then in this folder, you could enter all the employee documentation that you want to have. So once you create folders, you can then add documents, and documents do not necessarily need to be into folders. You can just create documents without having them inserted into folders, but you can add a document, and then you'll be able to upload your document. So I'll just take anything here that I have on my computer. Let's just take this one, for example, and then I can click on confirm, and I will be able to add my document directly in here. Once the document is added, you can then click on the three dots next to it, and you'll be able to open this document in a new tab. You'll be able to download it. You'll be able to add a note to that document. So let's say I add a note here, and I click on the document here. Or I'm sorry, the note is visible right here at the end. So when I click on this right here, I can see that there's a note linked to the document, and I can click on it to see what the note is. I can also share. So when I click on share, it lets me share with employees. So I can then select specific employees. I can also select specific teams. I could go ahead and select specific positions, locations, or roles as well. So let's say I want to share my document with all of the managers of a specific team. I could go ahead and select the managers of all the cardiology team, and I'll be able to share my documents with the managers of this team specifically. So by sharing this, it will let the managers of this team access the documents as well. And then after that, when you have a folder, so let's say here employee documentation, I can add a document directly into that folder. So when I add a document from here, it will not link it automatically to a folder. If you want to add a document to a folder, you need to create the folder first and then click on the 3 dots next to the folder to add a document. You can also open the folder. So you see here, this folder is empty. There's no document in this one. You can share the folder. Once again, same thing. You can share the folder with all employees that you selected, all employees of a certain team, all employees of a certain position, location, or by roles. And it is also possible to move the folder, delete it, or rename it to something else. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do here to sort your documents in different sections of this document section. And keep in mind that as an employee, after that, from an employee's profile, you'll be able to access the employee's documents that they have access to. We'll go into that a bit later once we've gone through the document requests. So in the document requests, there are 3 things that you can do. So there's the possibility to, well, first of all, when you enter a request, you can enter a title to your request. And there's 3 different requests that you can do. So you can ask for a document, you can ask someone to complete a document, or you can ask someone to sign a document. So let's say, for example, I ask someone to complete a document. I will insert my document here. Once again, let's just take the same thing here. And then after that, I can upload more than one file if I wanted to. So that's something that's possible. And I can enter a note for the employee here as well. Once I've selected the documents that I want the employee to complete or to sign or to share with me, I'll be able to enter a deadline. So I want this to be done by, let's say, the end of March. So let's go and select March 31st. And then I can decide which employee I want to send it to. Once again, it's the same procedure where you can select a specific employee, specific teams, specific positions, locations, or roles. So let's say I go ahead and select a specific employee. I could go ahead and select one employee and share the document with that employee for them to complete. Once I click on send, it will tell me that I have 0 out of 1 document pending because I only shared 1 document. If there were more than 1 document, it would show 1 out of 2 here. So it says here that it is a document to be completed. It shows a request type. If it was a document to sign, it would show that it is a document to sign. It shows who it was requested by. So I'm sorry, this is the one I just requested. It shows the date of the request and the deadline of the request. And if it is past the deadline here, it's going to show in yellow. It shows who it was sent to. And then after that, when you click on the 3 dots, there is the possibility to view the request. So to see if it has been done by the employee. You can also edit the request if you want to edit any information that was made in the request in the first place. You can send a reminder, so this will send a new notification to that specific employee or those employees that you've shared the document with to send it back. And then you can also contact all of those employees to send a message to all of the employees that you share the document with. So this will create a conversation with all the group that you sent the document to. You can also cancel the request or delete the request. And then if you go into an employee's profile, let's say I take Clara in this example because this is who I shared the document with. When you go into the notes and attachments, there is the shared documents here. So you can see the documents that were shared with this employee. you can see the employee documents. So these are just documents that you add directly in here. This was already existing before this version. These are documents that you add directly into the employee's profile and that the employee cannot see. So this is a part that was not added in 10.5. This was already existing in the platform. There are here the requested documents. So from here, you can see the requested documents that were entered. And then from here, well, the employee will also see that information from here. They'll be able to open the document and send it back directly from here. So they'll be able to send back the document directly from their profile as well. Keep in mind that whenever there are also new dashboard widgets for documents. So in that case, I'm just trying to find them right here. Let's go into customizable dashboard. So yeah, here they are. So if I go into customizable dashboard, I have my document requests that are in here. So that these are either requests that I've received or that I have sent. And I think there's also another one, if I'm not wrong, where I can add widgets. There is also the possibility. So yeah, there's the document requests and there's my document requests. So these are my requests that I've sent, and these are the document requests in general. So groups together requests for documents that are pending completion by the employees you manage. So this includes all of the requests of the employees that you manage, and this is your own requests that you made for documents. This one right here, right now, it is here. I'm sorry, I missed it, but it is right here, my document requests. So these are two different widgets that you have directly from your dashboard to alert you whenever there are documents to approve or documents to complete or pending documents to complete by employees within your team. So really cool tool that we added in the last version. Feel free to use it. It is free for a certain period of time. So you'll have more details by the end of the month about the pricing of this feature. But as for now, feel free to use it as you want. It is free to use. Other things that we've added in this version, there's a few things, few simple things. First of all, here, as we are in the dashboard, there are now expenses widgets that we've added in here. So in the expenses widgets, there are two different widgets that we've added. So there is the my expenses widget, and there is the expenses to approve widget. So whenever there is an expense to approve that was requested by an employee, previously you had to go into the employee's timesheet and you had to go see if they had an expense request. Now all of the expense requests will be regrouped in that widget, and when you click on it, it will show here the request that was made by the employee, and you'll be able to approve it or decline it directly from your dashboard without necessarily needing to access the timesheets. So this is something cool that we've added. The other thing that we've added is that you can now create budgets for multiple teams at the same time. So previously it was only possible to select one team in the budget tool. So this is available in schedules and availability. Whenever you go to budget tracking, this might be something that you've never used on your end, but it is something that is available in Evolia. So whenever you add a budget here, you add a title to your budget. And then after that, you decide if your budget is a workforce cost or an amount of hours. So if it is a workforce cost, it is in money. So you need to have your employees' wages in the system for it to work. If you do not want to have your employees' wages, you can also create a budget in hours. So you create your budget here. These were all available previously. What we've added now is that whenever you create a budget, previously you could only create a budget for one team at a time, but now it is possible to create a budget for multiple teams at once. So something new that we've improved in the budgets in here. Last thing that we've added is that it is now possible whenever an employee clocks an unplanned shift, so they clock without necessarily having a shift scheduled. When they clock out, it is possible for them to add a note. So let's do a test right here. I'll go ahead and log in the Punch console of this company. Let me just disconnect here from this one. Okay, and let me just go ahead. I'll do that off screen because I don't want you to see the password that I'll enter here. It won't be too long. Here, okay. So I'll have to go from here. Here, and then like this. So let me go ahead and show you. So let's say I take one of the employee here in the account. Let's say I take Anik here. So I go into Anik's profile and I look at her time clock pin. I'll make sure Anik doesn't have a schedule. Okay, so she does. So let's take Bruno in that case. So we'll take Bruno. Bruno clocking pin is 94470. So we'll clock in. We'll put that in English for you guys to better understand. I'll punch an unplanned shift. I'll select my position. I'll select my team, and I'll select the location I work at, and I'll clock in. It says, yeah, okay, so I cannot take a picture right now. I'll go and remove that from my settings. It's just I cannot take a picture right now because I'm recording this meeting with my camera, so I cannot use my camera at two different places at once. So we'll just remove the photo validation, and then we'll try again. So 94470. Add in my team, my position, my location. I'll clock in, I'll submit, put it in English, and then I'll clock in again, 94470. And it says here, I have to wait a little bit before clocking again because it's too short between both. Let me just remove those clocking roundings here, and I should be able to do it when I do it again. So let's change it. Okay. 70. I mean, it's a lot to show you the note here. We'll wait a few 1 minute here, or maybe we can delete this shift and try again. One last time. I think this time it should work. Okay, so whenever I want to clock out, I'm sorry, this keeps changing over to French. Whenever I clock out here, I can enter a note now here as an employee, which was not possible previously whenever you clocked an unplanned shift. So it is now possible for employee to enter information in a note here. And when they submit this, whenever you go to the timesheets after that as a manager or an admin, let's say I take Bruno and I go over to his timesheet here. And today we are March 12th, so we have to go over to March 12th. You see here that directly from your view there, you're going to see that there's a note on that day. So there's a departure note here saying test, which is a note I just entered. And whenever you access the employee's timesheet directly from here, you'll also be able to see the departure note directly from here. So that's pretty much the whole what was added in version 10.5. So as I said, there's a few quality of life modification that we've added that I've presented, but the main new feature is the documents feature. So feel free to go and use it and try it. It's a really cool feature that lets you manage your system in different ways, to manage documents in different ways, and adds a complete new dimension to Evolia. So I'll stay for a few minutes. If any of you have any questions, I see that there is not any questions so far. As I mentioned earlier into the meeting, this meeting is recorded, this webinar is recorded and is going to be available on our website later on. So whenever you go onto evolia.com, you'll be able to go into, I'm just going to change the language to English, but whenever you go to our platform section, you can access the webinars section. And directly from here, you can see the past webinars that we've made. So there's a lot of other webinars that you can go and watch as well. Feel free to do that as well. But this webinar that was presented today will be available probably in the next few days, probably earlier next week, for you to share with other colleagues in your company. So I see that there's still no questions, so we'll finish the meeting. So thank you for everyone for joining. I wish you a good rest to your day, to your Thursday, and a good rest of the week, as well as a good weekend. Have a good one.